What if your memory isn't broken? What if it's actually correct, but the world around you changed? Most people have heard of the Mandela Effect. You remember something one way, but the rest of the world says it happened differently. You remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison back in the 1980s. But he didn't. He lived until 2013. Remember the Monopoly man wearing a monocle? But look at him again, there's no monocle. You remember it saying mirror, mirror on the wall in Snow White. The actual line is magic mirror on the wall. These aren't small mistakes. These are crystal clear memories shared by thousands of people, sometimes millions, and nobody can explain them. So what is really going on? One explanation stands above all others, and it doesn't involve bad memory or mass confusion. It involves the nature of reality itself. What if we are living inside a simulation? What if that simulation gets updated and corrected just like a video game? And what if sometimes the people inside remember the old version? That's not a crazy idea anymore. Scientists and tech minds are taking it seriously. And the Mandela Effect might be the clearest sign we have that something is off with our reality. Think about that. You are not alone in these memories. Large groups of people across different countries and ages all share the exact same wrong memory. That is not how normal forgetting works. Normal forgetting is random and personal. This is organized and specific. That is why researchers are pointing to simulation theory as the answer. If you're ready to uncover the truth behind our simulated universe, hit like and subscribe to join us on a journey through the mysteries of simulation theory. Let's get started. Simulation theory is a big idea. It says that everything we see, touch, and experience might not be real in the traditional sense. It says that the universe we live in could be a kind of computer program built by something or someone far beyond our understanding. Think of it like a video game, but instead of a character on a screen, you are the character inside the world and you don't even know it. Now that sounds like science fiction. Some of the smartest people on the planet think it could be true. Elon Musk has said publicly that the odds of us living in base reality, meaning actual physical reality, are very low. Philosopher Nick Bostrom published a serious academic paper arguing that at least one of three things must be true. Either civilizations go extinct before they can build simulations, or they choose not to build them, or we are almost certainly already inside one. This idea has been debated in universities and research labs around the world. It is not a fringe theory anymore. It is a legitimate question about the nature of existence, and here is where the Mandela Effect fits in perfectly. If we are inside a simulation, then the simulation can be changed, it can be edited, it can be updated. Just like software gets patches and fixes, the reality we live in could be patched too. And when that happens, most people update seamlessly. They never notice the change. But some people, some of us, hold on to the memory of the old version. We remember how things were before the update happened. That is the Mandela Effect. It is not a glitch in your brain. It is a glitch in the program. This is not about bad memory or getting things confused. This is about something much deeper than that. We are going to walk through what this really means today. We will look at the most well-known examples of the Mandela Effect and what they tell us about the true nature of our reality. And by the end, you may never look at the world the same way again. So stay with us, because this gets very interesting very fast. Let us start with the basics. What exactly is the Mandela Effect? The term was coined by a researcher named Fiona Broome. She noticed that she clearly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in a South African prison in the 1980s. She even remembered seeing news coverage of it. She remembered a speech given by his widow. None of that happened. Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990. He went on to become president of South Africa. He died in 2013. Fiona Broome was not confused. She was not misremembering in a vague way. She had a specific, detailed, clear memory of something that never happened. And when she talked about it, she found that many other people shared the same exact memory. It was the beginning. So she gave it a name, the Mandela Effect. Since then, thousands of other examples have been found. Here is what makes this so hard to explain away. The memories are not vague. They are specific. People do not say, oh, I think the Monopoly man might have had a monocle. They say, I clearly remember the monocle. I can picture it right now. People do not say, I have a feeling Darth Vader said something about Luke. They say, I remember it word for word. Said Luke, I am your father, but the actual line is no, I am your father, not Luke, just no. Such a tiny difference, but it changes the whole line. And millions of people have it wrong in exactly the same way. That pattern right there is what makes this so fascinating. It is not random. It is not scattered across different details. It is the same false memory in the same direction, shared by millions of people all over the world. And that does not make sense unless something bigger is really going on here. Think about what that means for a moment. If memory errors were just random mistakes, then different people would remember different wrong versions. But they do not. They all share the same wrong version. That is the real puzzle here. It points to something beyond simple forgetting. Now here is where things get really deep. Imagine you are playing a massive online game. Millions of players are all inside the same world. The game developers push an update overnight. Change the name of a building. They change the color of a character. They fix a line of dialogue that was in there by mistake. Most players log in the next day and just go with it. They see the new version, and that is all they know. But a handful of players remember the old version. Say, wait, that building used to have a different name. They say that dialogue was different before. The other players look at them like they are crazy because to everyone else, the world has always been this way. That is exactly what the Mandela Effect feels like to the people who experience it. Now scale that up, replace the game with the entire universe, replace the developers with whatever intelligence built and runs this simulation, replace the update with a shift in history. You have a believable explanation for why millions of people share memories of a world that no longer exists. The simulation was changed and some people were not fully updated. You can picture it. Some vast system running our reality, pushing a patch to the timeline, and most people absorbing it perfectly while a small percentage retain the ghost of the old data. That is a chilling thought. It raises very important questions. If the simulation can change history, what else has it changed? What else do we remember that no longer matches the current version of reality? What other parts of the world have been quietly updated without anyone being told? These are not just fun questions, they go right to the heart of what it means to exist. What does memory mean if the past can be changed? What does reality mean if it can be edited without your knowledge? And this leads us to something even bigger. The idea that the Mandela Effect is not random at all. It might be pointing to something far more significant than cartoon logos and movie quotes. Stay with us because the next part is where it really gets serious. Here's the part that really makes you think. There are some Mandela effects that go way beyond movie lines and cartoon characters. Some of them touch on geography, some of them touch on science. Some of them touch on things that should be impossible to misremember. Take New Zealand. Many people have a very clear memory of New Zealand being northeast of Australia. But look at any map and it is clearly to the southeast, not a little off, completely on the opposite side. How do you flip an entire country to the wrong side of its neighbor? And yet thousands of people independently share that exact same wrong memory. Then there is human anatomy. Many people remember the heart being fully on the left side of the chest. The heart is actually more central than most people think. It sits mostly in the middle of the chest with just a slight lean to the left. These are things people learned in school, things seen in textbooks over and over again, and still the memory does not match what is actually there. Then there are the famous examples everyone talks about, Looney Tunes, not Looney Tunes. The brand has always been spelled Tunes, and yet so many people clearly remember Tunes. Curious George, the cartoon monkey that millions grew up with, never had a tail. Not in a single episode or book illustration, and yet many people will swear he did. Then there is the Fruit of the Loom logo. Many people remember a cornucopia, a curved decorative horn sitting behind the fruit. It was never there. Not in any version of the logo, ever. But the memory is strong and specific. Each of these on its own could maybe be explained away, but together they form something you simply cannot ignore. All pointing in the same direction. All shared by massive numbers of people saying the same wrong thing. In a simulation, patterns like this do not happen by accident. Patterns mean the code was written that way or the code was changed. And that leads us to an even bigger question. What if these are not accidents at all? What if these are messages? So let us pull this all together. The Mandela Effect is real, it is documented, it is shared by millions of people worldwide, and the standard explanations simply do not hold up. Bad memory does not work because bad memory is random and personal. These memories are consistent and collective. Mass suggestion does not explain it either, because people report these memories before they ever encounter the Mandela Effect online. They do not pick it up from the internet. The memory comes first every time. The only explanation that truly fits is the one simulation theory gives us. The reality we live in is not fixed. It is not carved in stone. It can be updated. It can be changed. When it is changed, some of us hold on to memories from an earlier version of the program. Think about how that shifts the way you see your daily life. Every time something feels slightly off. Every time you notice something that does not match what you remember. Pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this just a mistake? Or is this a sign that the world was quietly updated around me? You are not crazy. Your memory might actually be the most honest thing about you. It could be the one part of you that the simulation did not fully reach. Mandela Effect is not just a quirky internet topic. It is a crack in the surface of reality. Through that crack, we get a glimpse of something much bigger than most people ever stop to consider. Something that most people walk past every single day without ever noticing. But now you have noticed it. And that changes things. The question is not just what this means. The question is, what else is out there waiting for you to notice? Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced the Mandela Effect moment yourself? Do you have a memory of something that does not match what the rest of the world says happened? Drop it in the comments below. Tell us exactly what you remember and when you first noticed it. We read through every single comment, and we genuinely want to know what you have experienced. Your story might just be the next one we cover. If you enjoyed this exploration of simulation theory, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And if you're ready for more interesting content on the simulation theory, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.